Welcome. Welcome to the Freedom Tapestry Project. Another artist intrigue from Prague with Andrea. That's who we're having on today. So welcome to everybody. Now and later. As always, Instagram, wherever you're watching this at some point, because you never know. It will be an interesting time. And we're going to have Ben on, we're going to have Sami on, we're going to have the whole crew. Because that's how we do it here at the Freedom Tapestry. Welcome. Here's Ben. Here's Sami. What's up?
I signed in with my my writer account.
Oh, nice.
B.Earl Writer.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I'm excited about today. Andrea's artwork is amazing, and I'm really excited to be able to have her be a part of this community. It's very exciting.
Very exciting. So what's the latest out in LA? Are the fires still raging? What's happening?
Oh shit. Water all over my desk. My kitchen table. Oh
yeah, that's what we got from last week is drink water.
Yeah.
Drink water.
That's right, because we didn't get that one. Technical difficulties. Drink water. I'm drinking coffee right now. But yeah, so LA, I mean, look, we're all good. There's been the fires. There have been the fires, not by me, but not too far down in Orange County. That area has been kind of ravaged by a lot of the fires. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, I don't like to focus on the negative things.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, let's not focus on it. I just wanted to know what was happening. I think that.
Yeah, no, I mean, not much. I mean, it's the weather's changed. It's as I can wearing my hoodie. You're in my little kitchen area. No, the weather's changing. Obviously, here in California too. It was obviously so hot. It was so hot this summer and now and even just the past couple of weeks. But finally, it's really cooled down. I mean, Monday it was just windy and you could smell just the leaves in the air, and it was really nice. But yeah, no, it's all good. I mean, I've just our book came out just in time for Halloween.
Can you show us?
I can. Hold on. Join me as we go into my toy closet. This is my gaming closet.
All right. Maybe you can read us 2 or 3 lines from it.
All right. Here is my stack of comics.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
My gaming closet. Welcome to my nerddom.
Love it.
So this is Werewolf by Night. You can see. So this is issue number 1. So the cover says Jack and Doff. If you can see that there, Taboo and Jack and Doff. And then for my nom de plume, I've changed it to Earl, B.Earl, because it was shorter. As you know.
I know. I know.
It's Benjamin Jackendoff was a big mouthful, and Tab was like, "Yo, we got to come up with a good nom de plume, a good pen name." So here you go. Here's some of this amazing artwork by the awesome Scott Eaton. There's our werewolf. If you can see that, and his monstrous attack, and then. And it's cool because we got really good positive feedback on it. The worst kind of, and again, not focusing on the negative. Everyone was a fan of Werewolf by Night. This is a new Werewolf by Night, right? This is a new take. We've got Red Wolf in here. He's the only recognizable Marvel character that's been in the Marvel universe, and then Werewolf by Night is a new take on him. And we wanted to really kind of explore Werewolf by Night from more of that native lens, which is obviously is a native character. And the native lens being that, skinwalkers or shifters, it's not a bad thing. It's not like the European version of here we go. Here's the feeding the red wolf or the gray wolf, the hungry, evil gray wolf, or the red wolf is our, with red wolf, of course, we're using that as part of our metaphor. But the thing was is that he's a hero. He's been living with this and learning how to control it, and he controls it through music. So we've been looking to have kind of a whole, positive take on him. And I'll let you guys read the comic. Obviously, here's our banger of the ending. Who are these monsters that are coming for him? We'll leave you at that. And just like any first issue, it's always, you got to pack a lot of stuff in. You got to pack a lot of backstory in. But we got really, really positive reviews. Sci-Fi Wire gave us a really great review saying, this comic is got a lot of heart, because it follows, the family, and that's really what we wanted to do. I mean, and this again, it's like for us, like being fathers, Taboo and I, we wanted to write something our kids could read. Like the last project we worked together on, the Master of the Sun project that I did with Will, it was violent. It was lots of bad language. It was, like I couldn't have my son read it. And even though he grew up around it, my room was covered in all the pages when we were doing our edits, but this book I can give to him and go, here, check this out. And that's our goal, like, to get more kids reading, which is always a good thing, but two, to give them heroes that are different than the heroes that are out there, but that are accessible to all kids. It's not like, oh, it's just a native story. Oh, that doesn't apply to me, and that was really something we wanted to make sure that we, kind of made a reality where kids of all races, creeds, religions, whatever, could go, I love this dude, Jake, and he turns into a werewolf, and wow, isn't that cool? If only I could be a cool werewolf, just in time for Halloween. So,
right, with full moon.
Full moon, right? Literally, full moon this weekend. So go out, pick up your copy of Werewolf by Night. This is the main cover. Mike McCone did an amazing job. Scott Eaton is our artist, interior artist. Scott Hanna did the inks. Miroslav Merva did the colors. He's just really wonderful, very moody colors, wonderful colors. Jake Thomas was our editor, or is our editor. And Lindsay Kohik was our associate editor on this book. So credit to all. Love you guys. And I'm going to jump out of here. Thank you for giving me a little space to promote our book. Go out and buy it. It's freaking rad.
Right. Send it out to your friends. Oh, by the way, send this out to your friends because we're going to have Sami on here.
All right, we are. Ben. Oh, wait, real quick.
Yeah, real quick.
Before I go, I just wanted to say words from Lena, because I just saw Lena the other day. She said she loves what we're doing. She's really proud of this platform. She's just really excited about what we're doing. So hopefully, I know she's been very busy and kind of, all that. Maybe I can convince her to jump on one of these moments, go over and be like, all right, here we are. And have her be able to say a few words. But she's really, really was very excited about what we're doing. So I just wanted to say that, while she is very busy, she is seeing all the artists that we're bringing around, seeing how everything is progressing. So she's really proud of what we're doing. So just wanted to put that out there. All right. Nice. I'm out of here. Love y'all. Peace.
See you next week.
Yep.
Bye. All right. While we're at it, go press that little DM button down here, and or wherever it is on your screen. Send it out to your friends now and later. Bring them on. I'm Aaron Jack, and we're gonna have Samia and then Andrea in Prague. So we're going to Damascus now. We were in LA. I'm in Pittsburgh. In the States, we're jumping time zones here. What's up?
Hi.
I love your hoodie.
Oh, thank you.
So good. It's so good, right? Give her some of those little stars and things down there. Some of those hearts and stars down there. Yeah, there we go. All right.
Yeah, the same stuff.
So what's up? Give us a live update. We've got to get Andrea on here in a minute, but give us the DL.
My sister's drawing. I made it once a toy. So I got back to it so I can make another toys from other kids, like their drawings, so I can make it toys. And that would be actually a very nice idea. And I thought I would also put it on socks. I never, I didn't find anyone who would, or a company who would like do it for me, you know, on the socks. So yeah, this is my illustration. Okay, and
Wow, cool.
this is my sister's drawing, and it became a toy actually. So
Do you
this
have
is
it?
beautiful. It's just I'm so passionate about it.
Do you have the toy? Or are you just drawing the toy now?
But it's in the other room. Now, yes,
So show us next week, right?
yes, yes, next week. Now we're gonna have Andrea. She's an awesome abstract painter, and she's an artist, and she's just awesome. I met her, and she's from Prague, Czech Republic. So that's awesome. We're gonna have her here.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh, I have some things also. Before we have Andrea on, I want to tell you I'm going to be interviewed later today on the Vision Collective. You can check it out. Check it out on my Instagram. I'll tag Freedom in one of the things. So check it out in the stories. I'm going to be interviewed later today about my work. So, but now I'm going to interview Andrea.
it's Andrea. Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you, Samia. How about that? How have you been, everyone? That's a good question. Thank you. Thank you. I've been well. I've been well. But let's find out about Andrea. That's what we're here for. That's what we're all here for. The moment of truth. Hey,
Hi,
how are you doing?
I'm fine. Hi, how are you?
I'm well. I'm well. I'm doing well. We've got people on from all over the world. What's
I see that. It's amazing, especially, Samia is really great, but the Marvel stuff would so interest my son. He would be all passionate about that. So that's
yeah.
amazing. It's amazing.
It's like a wide range of like art and what art means to different people.
Amazing. Yeah, well, he is definitely more interested in drawing and comic than painting with me lately. It wasn't like that, but it changed with ages.
Does that change your style of what you're doing, what he's interested in?
Not really. No, it changes his style. It's his own personality. He's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us first, where can we find you online? What's the handle here for people to check this out later?
Yeah, well, you can certainly find me here on Instagram under the profile Andrea Circles, and you can find me on andreaair.com.
Mm-hmm.
My website, my portfolio website. My Facebook website is very similar to Instagram one. It's facebook.com in the circles. That's the name of my website, and I might exhibit my work online in like every artist who does promote his work or her work online on Saatchi Art, various platforms, various online galleries, but most of all, I think the current pieces, I can say, if you are interested in the current pieces or like a little bit of introspective, what I do is the Instagram is the best way. So.
Nice. So how do you find Saatchi art? Like, what are some like ways that you found to make it work for you? Because you said that's one of your main things.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to exhibit online with along many other artists, which are could be forbidden and could be forgotten because of that. There are so many good artists, and I think there are opportunities for artists nowadays in online world which are good and bad in so many ways. Like we don't have the galleries to show our work. All of my shows were basically postponed or canceled due to COVID. So I was supposed to have a show in Amsterdam last month. It was postponed. The show in Barcelona was, transported online. So all these things are just naturally moving to the online world, which is, I guess, the world we are living now. And I don't know. I mean, I miss the real social thing. I don't know. How about you? How are you feeling about that?
Well, you know, I've said that this is happening, so I kind of just like accepted it. And
Hmm.
I was in a darker place when this started, like getting over some
Hmm.
darker places. So for me, I'm I found a way to like reach out and connect in this new world because now everybody's online. But I think you were. It sounds like you were in a very bright place. You were having a lot going on.
Uh, well, this is the second lockdown in Czech Republic. I don't know how about you in US. You don't really have lockdowns like we do.
No, no. What are the lockdowns like for you?
No lockdown. So there is a second lockdown, and that means, for someone who is like me, who does also teaching, I do my art therapy practice and teaching practice for therapeutical reasons, and I love to interact with real people, with feel them, to have the vibrant conversation about art and to interact with my students, and it means a lot to me. I love that, and I also take an inspiration from this daily life. So for me, yeah, it was very productive time, and I still do have a lot of great work to go for, but still I miss that very much. So
Nice. So we have a question here from Bella. What's the best way for you to connect with your collectors in this new world?
what's the best way? New world. I guess that's the answer. When you start in the morning obsessing about the ideas, and you just have to go to your studio, create something, and then you need to set that obsession or passion aside and create a little bit of marketing on Instagram or here and there. It doesn't make you really happy, but unfortunately, that's the world we're living in. So, oh, it's just a part of the deal. I'm taking it that way. I take it as it is, and I know we should do it. We have to do it. So I do that, and I think that that's when you would like to promote your work, you just have to put yourself out there somehow. So
Mm.
that's inevitable.
Feel free to share more tips and tricks for the, for the people out there. As
Oh
we
yeah, there are various platforms for emerging artists nowadays. There's, I don't know, single art, just out of my mind, something what's valuable. The emerging artist platform for Sachi, which is valuable platform for sure. Also gives opportunity for online viewing. So I think for sure, if you are a good researcher, you just Google it and you find tremendous amount of opportunities. Of course, there are tips from established artists, which actually this some of the platforms work better than others, but that could happen that just you would be the one who is great on the the other platform than others. So you never know. I think it's what you feel it's the best for you, what you like, the visuals, the people who are behind. And hi, Sandra. I want to say hi to my
Yeah,
friend.
say hi to anybody. Yeah, feel free.
So yeah, I think yeah, you just have to find yourself the right one for you, and maybe even find someone who stays behind it, someone who is advising you which arts to put on, or to like we often, even with Sandra or other artists friends we often discuss, oh, is this good enough, or do you think that like what do you think about this piece, what do you feel, what's your emotion about this one? So I have a good experience with connecting with other artists and to create quote unquote community you are comfortable with and you laugh, and then just feel if this is right or not. I mean, stay yourself, stay authentic. That's the best advice, I think.
That's awesome. How did you build your community? of people to like ask and all of that?
Well, again, we in Prague we have I mean, locally, if I talk locally, we have many people who are wonderfully passionate about art. Often meet each other in international art fairs, but even globally, international artists. I am the member of amazing Screaming Art Group, which is an honor to be a member of that group. It's the group of international artists who exhibit together, talk together. The curators who establish the group promote the art of various artists from the group, and there are even few art therapists who are advising. And these people support each other. They promote each other. They actually, post each other works online. They're very supportive, and you feel that you have you have someone who you can admire, you can be inspired by, or you can just feel that sparkle that something is different than what your view or your point of view is or your approach is, and all of a sudden there is something you can relate to. So you can completely rely, or you can talk to someone who you feel you can trust, or you can share your thoughts about your art or other artists' art. So that's amazing.
Wow. And Sergio Gomez, he's part of that, right?
Sergio Gomez is one of the curators, and then there is Fatima. She is one of the curators, and other Portuguese curator, which name I forgot. But, yes.
Very cool. Let's check out some of your work.
I think
Jump into
he's amazing. Okay. So, you want to know something about this one?
whatever you'd like to share.
Okay, the painting is basically a dream I had. One of the nicer dreams, the most vivid, colorful dreams, which that's exactly the situation I was talking about. You just wake up in the morning and you feel like you have these ideas and you would like to put them on canvas, and you just feel that there is this tremendous pressure in you that you would like to, just have an outlet to put it right on that blank thing. And so this was one of it. And this is a collection of 2020, so it was created in quarantine as well. This particular piece is just my longing for summer and France, lavender, fields. The nature is calling me and I'm responding. Sunshine. As you can see, the sunshine there. There is like a sunshine which is raising slowly up to the fields, and the light, as it is on this canvas, is actually the my favorite topic which I work with, and I often use gold or gold leaves or gold in pastels or gold powders, textures, which would radiate that canvas a little bit more, and just you can feel the sunshine even more intensely. So that one, okay. This painting name is also quarantine painting, and this one is named Touch Me, which is the reflection of the current situation again. I usually just go with whatever I feel and just throw myself out there. And this one responds to how, I feel sometimes, or I'm sure you might feel it as well in US when you go out on the streets. So you feel like people are more fearful to look each other in the eye, and they are afraid to hug or touch, so they don't do that because we're not supposed to do that. And there are certain type of boundaries which weren't created before. And so it's me thinking about how far we can go like that. What's gonna happen to us after this is over, and would that be ever over, or would that mark us or scar us for good?
So we have a question here from Raj. Where is your exhibition, or where was it and where is it now? Because you had a few.
Currently nowhere. Currently it's in my house, and yeah, there is one in Zurich in Switzerland, which is supposed to be an art books project Barcelona, and unfortunately that didn't happen because of COVID, obviously. So it was transported to Zurich Art Books Project Gallery, and then they exhibit only uh, parts of the works. Some of the works are exhibited on screens, and some of the works are exhibited physically. So that, and yeah, I supposed to have exhibition right now in Amsterdam, which is not happening.
Wow. So
So
everything's shifting.
everything's shifting, yes, everything is changing, and we just react how it goes.
So we have a question here. How was the journey of finding your own unique style? Says JEDA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you for question. How was my journey? Well, I studied art, and I have to say that it's not easy journey when you study academically study art, and then you're supposed to find your unique style. You find yourself in the middle of so many people who were like big personalities during your academic studies and implanted your, let's say, development, artistic development, as your personality grows, as you grow as a person, as a human being. And then, you think about all these rules they taught you, and you think about all these rules you can't break, supposedly, when you're young and foolish. And so you have to go that very, self-beating path to the point where you realize, well, I just have to forget this. But then you realize while you're creating, then you forgot all these academic things on purpose, but you still have it implemented in you, and they are there. So you don't really, you can't really take it out, all these lessons, all these hours in the studios. But you have to kind of suppress it to be more spontaneous, playful, and not to be afraid to try new things. But otherwise, when you're afraid, you just that you can't do that. So that was an easy path, I have to say, and I had wonderful teachers, and the most valuable advice my professor of art and calligraphy gave me was, I can't teach you anything. I'm teaching you technique, but everything that you have to learn is just you yourself. You just have to find it out for yourself. Just be authentic, be yourself, and just listen, observe, and then that's gonna happen. When you're going to be authentic and you're gonna believe in yourself, just build yourself a good name, and don't make compromises. Don't sell yourself cheap. That's was the most valuable advice. I never ever actually heard better advice, like I can't teach you anything. So it was his advice, but he was very extravagant, I should say, but wonderful. Yeah.
Well, Raj also asks, where are you from? Where would you like to say you're from?
Ah,
Metaphorically speaking.
okay. Well, I am from Slovakia. I came from Slovakia, but I live in Prague, in Czech Republic.
Very cool.
Yeah. Hmm. Well, that's one of my favorites. Uh, Indigo Night Lovers. This painting is about connection, about love, of course, about the passion and the light between two people, two souls, where when they meet, how magically they can feel about that moment to find each other, and that moment where you realize that this other person actually exists. So it's that magical moment. I tend to believe that things like that happen in life, and that happened to me. So I truly believe this meetings happen often. You just have to be patient.
Nice. We have a question from In the Middle of Nothing. Um, Does academic study of art help creativity, in your opinion?
That's a difficult question. I don't know. I don't really know if there is anything what I would do differently if I wouldn't study. Probably yes. I can't answer that. I don't think that that yeah, might and might not. It depends who you meet or who you study with. I met wonderful, amazing, inspirative people through my university studies, which I'm incredibly thankful for, and I believe that I'm supposed to meet them for a reason. So they certainly helped me to grow. I don't know if that sparked my creativity or if that would be in me or I would just, do what I do besides that. But I knew in my heart that I can't do anything else. I just have to do this. So for me, it was something what I have to follow. I can't answer if the academic studies sparks the creativity. It would definitely help your technique. Certainly, for sure. This painting I gave to my longtime friend for her 40th birthday, and that's a fairy tale. It's like a journey to a night fairy tale where dreams are everywhere, and you're just gonna go. It's like part of the project. You actually um, can see in all the imaginative surreal movies where you go to the rabbit hole and you're just very curious what you find in the rabbit hole. So this is a part of my rabbit hole where you can find there. It's fairies dancing and stars shining during the night. Okay.
Do you come up with these ideas for what they are before usually, or like as you're painting, or after? Or
Well,
how does that work?
yeah, it works. It depends. Sometimes I come with the idea at first, and that during the process it could change completely to something different. It As I have an idea, I start working, and the idea, or just like say my conscious mind is working, and then my subconscious take over. So I connect with myself differently, and I'm doing something what's kind of a little bit chaotic, or let's just say that I'm scribbling with a marker, or just pouring a little bit of paint, and then just again I switch into something else, and I react what's happening on a canvas. So it's a constant process between my subconscious and conscious mind, which I usually come with the idea, and the idea changes during the process.
Wow. How would you suggest people have that conversation between their conscious and subconscious mind? Do you have any practices you
Yeah,
could share that might help others?
yeah, I do actually. But that's something what I initiate because it's my method, and something somebody else might tell you that it doesn't work for him or her. But when I do workshops for art therapy, or let's say the artist journeys, then I usually would recommend everyone who would like to reconnect or connect within themselves to just stay focused for a little bit. Either that's just before they start to paint, or before the night. Stay silent and listen. What's what's in you? What you are about? What you're dreaming about? What is your life right now? What you would like to say? Is there anything you have to say, or it's just overbearing, go over your body and mind and soul, or is there something precisely imaginative, color wise, you have in mind, or it's pressuring you to tell? So to formulate this, you have to stay silent and focus for a little bit, unless you want to be like articulate about what you want to say. Sometimes, as I said, the subconscious mind will take over, and you would be very surprised what is actually part of your soul currently.
Wow. So, so you're talking about being silent and getting into a mindset to really listen to like what's coming up, it sounds like.
Definitely. I think that if you want to stay authentic in your art and you want to communicate and you want people to feel the emotions you would like to transfer via canvas towards the viewer, you have to stay the way, like, connected to yourself at first, and then if you are connected, that people can connect to your work. That's me. That's my process, and I believe that's true. For me, it works. I had many wonderful feedbacks where I actually felt that people responded even with tears and in joy and stories they seen in my paintings, and all of a sudden that these stories um, became my stories became their stories, because all of a sudden they felt something amazing, something what like that emotion I created sparkle in them. So yeah, I I think that's important. That's what I love to transfer via canvases.
Wow. So because you're like tapping into a greater unconscious mind, you feel that you're able to connect your art to more people, that your art is able to connect and you're able to connect, it sounds.
I believe so. I believe that sometimes they react to it without knowing why. And some people who are, let's say, more connected or in deeper connection within themselves, they can actually react on a different level. On that spiritual journey, I am taking them to. So
Hmm. Do you have any spiritual practices that maybe you engage with that help you, that you would like to share? You don't have to. It's just, I'm just curious if there's any particular practices you would like to share with the community
I think,
that helps
like,
you.
yeah, I don't really think that there is any particular spiritual practice which works for everyone. I think that every single person has to, take that difficult path to find it for himself, herself. But for me, it works to stay focused and just be humble with who you are, what you are actually doing on everyday basis, and realize that no practice or no book would actually take you anywhere unless you are on a daily basis kind and beautiful to people around you. They're your best mirror.
Hmm. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, that's a gestural painting on paper, and that's about sunshine, which I miss very much right now. It has a little bit of emphasis on calligraphy. As you can see, there is, like maybe a marks, which, I don't do with inks. Sometimes I do use inks. I noticed that you do use inks as well, and I love it. So I love the gesture. Sometimes I just feel that there is a time for gesture in my painting. So when I took a little bit of more action painting in my mind, and this one is one of them, which uh, reminds me of the sunsets and the sunshine, and a little bit of that, when you're sitting by the sea, watching yourself and the reflection of the sea.
Hmm.
What it reminds you of, this one?
Oh, I try not to answer when I'm interviewing. I try not to answer what
And
things remind me of because
that's a real interview. You can actually answer.
I can answer, but I don't like to say my opinion about anything that I'm looking at, like my interpretation. I can
Okay.
answer things that are about me, but I don't like to interpret.
Okay. Fine.
That's the because that, you know, it's like interpreting for the audience.
Exactly, and that's the thing, you know, I can see that in this painting, but somebody else might say, well, I don't see that, though. I see birds, or I see, you know, a sky, or, you know, the dark nights, whatever. I understand that, and I completely agree with the hi, Moni. Hi, guys. What else I said? I see someone. Okay. So yeah, I think that it's just my story, and what's your story in it, what you would respond to it. I'm very thankful. Once I had an exhibition, which I actually didn't create the names of the paintings, but I put like a little pieces of papers, like a little notebooks under each painting, and people have to write the names of the painting underneath. So various names would actually come out very different. It was very, it was actually amazing to see what people would feel, or what they are, you know, what they see, that their stories were completely different from mine.
Interesting. I like that. So if you have an idea of what you see, write it in the comments.
Yeah, so you bring it in comments what you see.
Yeah, write what you see.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, this one is really hard for me to talk about. It's a little bit more personal, and let's say it has that it has a dark side, and you know, like the road towards the light. It has, you see the sparkle of the gold over there on the right side. It has a 24 karat gold leaf in it, so it's creating, the creation is made by different methods, also inks. But this painting is basically about something what I started, and it turned into, this is one of the examples, it turned into a completely different story. I started as that I want to do something very simple and absolutely clean. You know, like I would like to do one gesture on the let's say sea-like platform, inks, something what would completely, you know, just, you know, rise from the sea, something like a creature which is dancing during the night. And it turned into my own journey where I'm down energetically. I go back towards the light, and this is that movement where you go there, how you go there, how to approach it, how the energy sparks, how it twists, how it swirls. It's difficult to express it actually, but yeah, this is about this painting.
How did you learn to speak about your work? How did you learn to speak about your interpretation?
Still, I still have trouble with that. I don't know if there is, maybe like Salvador Dali can speak about his work, but nobody. I think that everyone has trouble about it. I think you know, I was watching one of the interviews yesterday with you had, because I wanted to see how you approach people, and I saw artists being wonderful and themselves, but at the same time they have so much trouble to articulate, like, what am I doing? Yeah, this is like so hard to formulate because it's so personal. And this is the thing, you know, we can't really escape who we are. We can't really escape just to throw ourselves out there. So it's sometimes you feel very, let's say, fragile when you exhibit your work. You know, you feel like you have, everyone knows who you are. And sensitive people do, because sensitive people feel. So it just comes along like you're showing off all the time. But it's true. It's just you can't escape it. So it's super hard for me even now. You know, like I do talk about my work because I do interviews and I do publish interviews, but it's difficult.
Wow. So just doing one interview after the next.
I don't, but I have to answer some interview tomorrow in writing for Flex magazine review, and it's for me it's better to write it, I guess. It's just I can think about it a little bit, and it's different.
Interesting. No, I just find it fascinating. I love doing these, just like being able to give that opportunity for others. I think is so important, because I think it's so important for everybody to talk about their work, and especially in this time when there's so little chance to talk in front of others about work. I think it's really important,
Hmm.
to do that and create spaces for each other to be able to talk in front of people.
Definitely, definitely. And I'm sure you also listen to many artistic podcasts and, like people who can inspire you. Certainly when they've done some interviews, then that you feel that almost no one, even they can talk about techniques or process, can articulate what is this painting really about? What is this about? Well, it's about me. Well, it's about my dream, but like it's about dream I see when I wake up, and and then it's gone, and then I have that tiny little thing in my memories, and I would like to be brave enough to put it on canvas, and that's what I'm doing. So it's
Mm.
difficult, yeah. And somebody is asking who is my favorite painter. Hmm.
In the middle of nothing, as asking,
Hmm.
and influences.
Okay, well, um, my favorite painter, there are many, but one of my most favorite painter is Zhao Buki, the Chinese French painter, which master of painting for me, because he creates exactly the dreamy lens, the stories which you can just dive into and feel what he feels. For me, he's one of the most authentic, and I love his work. I love a lot of artists, but when I'm supposed to name one, which is
You
remarkable.
can name many. You don't. I don't restrict you to one. I don't.
All right, all right. But then I
There's no
want
restrictions.
a different person, and it's Rita Ackerman, which I think she is incredible, even though she is very, very far, far away from Zhao. But yeah, she's very expressive, and she has this Hungarian passion in her, which you look at her paintings and you just feel that raw emotion. It's ugly sometimes, but at the same time you feel it. Like you feel it down to your brain and down to your bones. So
Mm,
I love it.
wow, that's intense. So that inspires you. Do you have any music that's been inspiring you lately,
Music.
or movies, or anything that's outside of like the realm, or
Mhm.
books?
Yeah, I do. I do have a lot of music which inspires me. I love, for example, my son and my husband, they love to drum. And so they love to listen to tinariban. It's ethnic music, which is like very much percussions, guitars from Bedouins from the Sahara. I don't know if you know the group.
No, but you should write a story and we'll retag it because
All
that
right,
sounds
well,
awesome.
I'll write
I
your
want to
name.
know.
It's really amazing. You should listen to them. They're all around the world, but so they are um, Bedouins and are amazing artists and musicians. And for example, this group inspires me, and it inspires me a lot of people who are doing something. Let's say um, emotional music inspires me. I love Nico Case. I love very different styles, American pop and folk. Pop not so much as a pop folk. Then David Gray. I love David Gray, for example, and many others. It's hard to say.
Nice.
Nationals, so many classic music. I love Björk, the Islander musician, singer songwriter.
What's going on here?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. What's going on in this painting?
In this one.
This one.
Okay, so this one, the name of the painting is In the Name of Yours. And it's created after me and my husband had a big argument. And I went to my room and my studio and created this painting. How simple it is. So I just put it out there, but that's about everything what you love about the person. And at the same time, you just there are some things which you don't like so much, but you have to accept it, or because they mirror yourself, and so you become angry about it, and you just realize, well, it's just because you are the same way, and so. Yeah, that's the emotion behind. It's also very much calligraphic. It has a lot of texture. When you would see this painting uplight, it is with a lot of structures. It's like it was created 3 times and then they layered out and layered up and layered up. So it builds up and it creates that effect of just jumping in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one is one of the 2020, the quarantine edition. Already saw that one. It has, yeah, this one definitely is very dreaming and more like, this nighty feeling under the stars when you're laying down and you feel the streams of wind over you, and you're just, thinking about the freedom and the freedom of creating too. Hmm. These all four are part of this 2020 collection. There are, I think, 8 of the paintings which I named 2020, and they all. Sandra is hi, Sandra. Thank you. Um, they are all reflection of my thoughts, hope, emotion, what we all experienced during the quarantine, and at the same time frustration being under the lockdown and not being able to see our families. I'm very sad that we can't see our family in the United States. I don't see my family in Slovakia. We all know what this situation creates. Then once we realize that, we have a freedom and then we don't have it all of a sudden, that's amazing what happened to us, because nobody else, let's say our grandparents and grandparents experienced wars, but we didn't experience anything like that before, so we just surprised. All of a sudden we don't have anything on anything like social interactions, but also a constant pleasures which we are searching from outside world. And I think this collection reflects mostly that. I was thinking a lot about that, how instant our pleasures are, and how instantly we're looking in our society, like we decide to go out and take a coffee or just chat with our friends, and we take it for granted, and then we go to work and somebody says, oh, you did a good job. Well, nobody's saying that right now, because you're at home with yourself and only you can satisfy yourself and your feelings and your own validity. So it is very difficult time for everyone. And I think that, like for artists, we're loners and we, used to be alone in the studios, but at the same time, we still reflect what's going on in the world.
Wow. So I have a question. I'd like you to touch on some of your technique for a minute or two. What are you doing and how are you doing it?
Okay. Well,
you don't have to tell us all the secrets. Just like something that you'd like to share about your technique.
Certainly, no problem. I have no problem sharing it all. I would have a workshop, online workshop at the end of November, I hope, when I prepare everything the way I want to, for people who would like to be knowing more about my techniques and process. But what I do is I start with creating the texture with gesso or structural pastes, and I combine these let's say base parts with inks or watercolors. Usually the watercolors I blend with vinegar, and also surprisingly, or sometimes I use alcohol, but mostly vinegar, that works fine. The vinegar would create like the bubbly effect of the watercolor, which is a little bit that greeny material I need for the base, for like the first layers. And then I let it dry. That's why I never ever work only on one painting at a time. I usually work on various paintings, and when I don't have big commissions, I usually work on 4 or 5 paintings at the same time. And then after this dries, which takes some time, luckily, so I have a little bit of step back. I can come to studio and see how that turns. And sometimes even that initial idea I had at the beginning would change based on what I see what happened on the canvas. And then when I see what happened in the canvas, I would, maybe either slightly change the idea or the color spectrum or whatever I want to use. So I work with acrylics and the layer it out, and I usually do a sprinkle with a schminke gold powders, or I use the 24 karat gold leaves, which I love. The technique I absolutely adore. And then my last part, if I need it, and if I feel like I want to, I would actually do an oil paint, but that's less and less lately. I have to change the usage of oil paint after my son was born, so that's incredibly chemical. Just the entire house stinks, and it's just very different when you have a child. And I love that smell. I would love it, but nobody else does in the house, so I just have to somehow accustom to this situation. And yeah, that's it. I think I use the combination of all these techniques, and when I feel that I would like to have a little bit of more spontaneous approach, I just skip the entire gesso thing and the structures, and I go for something lighter, just acrylics or watercolor. And if I really would like to, do just gestural things, then I do inks or watercolors.
Cool. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. Yeah. This one is one of these 4 which were there already. So yeah, it's like a sparkle of hope coming from the sea. It's a little bit more elaborate one from 2020 series, and this one actually, when you see when you actually zoom it, you can probably do it on my Instagram later. It has tremendous amount of structure, but also I use a knife to cut it through the paint after I feel like I really need to do some last touches. And I also used indigo organic powder to darken the places which are contrasting the gold at the end. So. Yeah, this one is a visual of my painting in a gallery. Actually, this one is very, very big detail of the painting, which is not that big normally. So, but it is also very structural. As you can see, the structures are enormous, and it's gesso structures, which I left work with. And sometimes these structures, with combination of the powders or indigo, would create the amazing artistic feeling, which I would come, like look at it, and it inspires me to take a next step. Yeah, this one is about. Well, do you want to know about what is this painting about, or do you want to know technique?
I just want to know something that you want to share, that you feel inspired to share. That's what it's about. What you feel inspired to share.
Yeah, this is very spiritual painting for me. It's sold to someone who is a long-term collector, and it's about two souls which wanted to meet so much, but they didn't have a chance. As you can see, the sparkle in between the colors, and the colors are changing, coming from dark sea towards that meeting, and I never made it. Something's coming from the sky, something we're all longing for, and at the same time there is something from the dark part emerging, and these two parts just never met. And sometimes we just have to choose the part we want. Now it's not a face, but you can see the face, of course. It's someone is saying it's a face. Yeah, this painting is also one of my favorite, very much inspired by Zen and Eastern philosophy, kind of like this nothingness, emptiness, and at the same time enlightenment as well. Moments of flow, of complete creative flow, where you just you're in the middle of it, and you're right in the flow and just can't get enough. These two belong together. It's a diptych, part one, part two reflections. Both of them are based on the watercolor technique I started with, and these water is the emotion behind it. And as I mentioned before, this nothingness, solitude, and at the same time that nothingness which creates everything, it comes to my mind right away when I see this one. And I had so much fun creating both of these paintings. I actually enjoyed it very much, and I would say my subconscious mind take over this time fully, and that was my pleasure. That was amazing to create this one as well. This one is sold to New York City, actually, for a collector, and I have the name of this one is One Magical Day, and it's created after one magical day. Actually, it was just the amazing colors I had in mind for a long time after amazing summer, and I created a painting. It was staying in my atelier, and just kind of wasn't very satisfied with what I created. So I recreated this painting so many times. So my student, hi. So I recreated this painting a few times, and after I think the last touches I did was like the structures, the blue thing on the right part, and deep blue thing on the right part, and the gestures finally made me satisfied that this is it. But I just felt like nothing can actually absorb that emotion, how magical that day was. And I just realized that, you know, I just need to do something more gestural, something more, let's say, brave to put it out there, and just to be satisfied with how exceptional I felt after that. So.
Oh. We have a little bit of a turn to a technical question about quick about your brushes, and we had a question from Pat here, Patrick. Something about how you mix your colors and the brushes that you enjoy using.
How mix my color?
Yeah.
Um,
However you like to take that.
all right. Well, I do not use only brushes, first of all. I can show you what I use. I mean,
Yeah, sure.
I use also these things, which are actually for printing. It's like a rollers, you know, like for the printing sometimes. If I want to create a structure, sometimes I use knives, palette knives, especially for the textures, for the structures, for the first two layers. And um, well, I love big brushes. I love big brushes. I am very much a big brush person. I also, hold on, I show you
Yeah.
where I have it. So, yeah, and I have these brushes which actually are very good for calligraphies, you know, and also creating that um, dreamy moments where you would like to, you know, just blend your paint into the canvas. Uh, I recommend it to all my students, and it's very good. And combination with the big brushes, it's kind of like a Chinese style painting when you like to approach, twist and twirl, and do the gestural thing, or coming from, you know, a spectrum where it's a large size of paint to the little bit tiny, you know, like structural mimicry at the end. That's all what you need to do. You need to just, you know, twist your brush a little bit, and try to, you know, experiment with it as much as you can. And then I think that I mix my paint normally, like everyone does on their palette. So I will see another friend of mine. So do you usually sit back?
Do you usually sit back and look at your work as a third point of view and analyze them? Spark says that they usually do that. How do
I
you like look? I think he's asking a little bit more about how do you look at your painting, and like, is it like from a critical point of view versus like studying yourself, or is it like more about the painting itself when you're doing it, or how do you approach that?
okay. Well, I don't sit back and study my painting. No, I don't do that. But what I do, when I create a painting, the first thing in the morning I do, I after the night I sleep on it, I'll rush to atelier to my studio, and I would like to see it and just know, oh, what is it? Well, is it still good? Is it still good, or I was mistaken last night? Or so I do that very often. That happens a lot. And then I usually spend a few minutes here and there and just yeah, I guess I didn't understand the question, Spark Artsy, but thank you. Um, uh, yeah, I do look at my paintings, and of course, sometimes when I do look at them, I would realize, well, this is something maybe this corner would need a more work, or this part is maybe not, you know, emphasized enough. So I come back from, maybe my conscious mind would take off first and then take over. And then, yeah, when I look at it, I usually have to have it somewhere in the house for a while and just think about it a little bit. If I So for me, it's not a process of like I create a piece and then I'm done with it. Sometimes it takes weeks, and it happens rarely, but sometimes it just takes few days, and yeah, I realized, okay, I created something what I am very happy with. Yes, and I can, you know, sign it immediately. Well, I usually sign the painting after I'm 100% sure, or not 100%. I'm never 100% sure, but I am like slightly sure that I can sign it. so, so
You're just like, I'm done, and then you.
yeah, well, it's like there is not much more I can do. Like I communicate the feeling, and when I guess most important for me is if I communicated what I wanted with the painting. If I transferred that emotion, that vibe I wanted. So.
Beautiful. I know we have a few more, but we're running out of. I think we're running our time here, but we can go for a couple more minutes if that's okay. So we'll just take a quick look at the last 3 paintings here.
Okay. Well, what did I say about this one? As you can see, there is a dark mark in the upper part, and there is a light all over, and the painting calls Love Potion. So obviously it's what, you know, like pinkish world which was interrupted, I would say in one sentence. The illusion which was broken, and the illusion we tend to believe and was broken, let's say. This is one of my favorites too, and yeah, this one was one of these paintings I created in a very short time. Was full of need after I, you know, like I came back from being in Greece after vacation, and I love Greece. I feel like home in Greece. I feel like when I, you know, touched the Mediterranean Sea, I just felt amazing and at home. So this was my calligraphic transcription of the sea reflection, and that's what it is about. This painting, it's a little bit older than the others, and this one is about roots. The entire canvas is blue, but basically it's about roots, the roots we connect to, the roots we want to suppress the moment we realize we have them, or we want to cut them and or connect with them. You know, the roots in us, our ancestors, and the earth we connect to.
Thank you for sharing.
No problem.
I really appreciate you being here, and thank you to everybody who's watching now and later and being with us on this journey and experiencing the world with us.
Thank you very much for inviting me for this interview. I was happy to share some of the ideas of the paintings and ideas behind the paintings, and I hope that you enjoyed a little bit more about the mind of someone who is creating them. Yes.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate you sharing all of those inspirations and moments behind them, being present with us. Where can they find you online? Just one more time quickly.
Yeah, so everyone can find me here on Instagram on my profile, Andrea Circles. Also on my Facebook, Andrea Eret or In the Circles. My official website portfolio is andreaeret.com, and I hope that whoever would like to talk to me personally or ask me any questions after this talk, they'll contact me. Feel free to contact me via DM, and I would be happy to answer if I if I have something to say about that. Thank you, Valentine. I wanted to say hi to my friend and also artist, Bella Valentine Art.
Nice. Yeah, thank you for joining. So I'm Aaron Jack. I'm over at Aaron Jack Line Art. And then this is Freedom Tapestry Project, at least as we're doing it on live, and it may be in other places. So thank you for joining. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Samia, for producing, collaborating, and curating the back end. Um, Thank you, Andrea. And I'll see you
Thank
next week.
Yes, thank you very much. And it was a pleasure to talk to you. It was great. Thank you.
Thank you.